was my daughter's birthday, and I had rushed back home from a business trip, asking my husband to pick me up. But on the way home, I was attacked by a group of thugs. Panicked, I called my husband for help. He blocked my number. I was dragged out of the car and thrown into a patch of weeds where they violated me. I begged them to let me go, telling them I was pregnant. That only seemed to excite them more. I remained painfully aware as I felt the life inside me slip away. They stabbed me over a dozen times and left me bleeding out on the ground. Knowing I wouldn't survive, they didn't bother hiding their identities, openly calling each other by name over the phone. My neck was broken, and part of my organs spilled out, dangling grotesquely from my body. I held my head in my hands, trying to keep my heart from falling out as I crawled toward the road. Right before I passed out in the ambulance, I saw a nude weave from my husband. It was a picture of him with his secretary, celebrating her daughter's birthday. For over a month, from the moment a kind stranger saved me until I was discharged from the hospital, Matthew never called. Not once. He didn't even send a single text. The only message I had from him was from the date. Everything happened at cold, accusatory text. What's the big deal about me missing your call? Did you really have to disappear like that? If you don't come home soon, don't bother coming back at all. And after that, he blocked my number without hesitation. Every day and every night, I was consumed by pain, physical and emotional. I spent countless hours scrolling through his Twitter feed, each post cutting me like a knife. From heartbreak to despair, and finally, to complete resignation. What I saw were weekly photos of Matthew, his secretary Eula, and her daughter enjoying what looked like a picture-perfect family day at theme parks. The three of them all smiles looked like the happiest little family. And me, 7 years of marriage, and I wasn't even worth a single post on his profile. For years, I convinced myself that Matthew simply didn't like sharing his personal life online. But now, the truth was glaringly obvious. It wasn't that he didn't want to post personal photos, he just didn't want to post me. The doubts I had buried for so long came rushing back, each one sharper than the last, slicing through what was left of my heart. The scars on my body told a story I couldn't escape. The twisted marks stretched from my chest to my abdomen, and the grotesque stitches across my neck stood out like a grim trophy of survival. They were a constant reminder of the month I spent on the brink of death. Even the simple act of swallowing sent waves of pain through my body. The child I lost that life ripped from me in an act of brutal violence seemed to cry out in my ears every night, haunting me. The physical pain blended with the betrayal I felt, creating a storm that made me wish for death more times than I could count. And yet, while I lay in the ICU fighting to stay alive, Matthew was at home, playing the perfect family man with Ela and her daughter, her new mom. The grief, the anger, the humiliation it all wrapped around me, dragging me down into an icy abyss of hopelessness. When I was finally discharged, I wore a thick scarf to hide the scar on my neck, even though it was the middle of summer. After a month of recovery, I finally worked up the courage to go home. Standing in front of the door, I reached out to unlock it with my fingerprint, but the scanner rejected me. Again and again, the lock beeped with an error. I thought maybe my fingerprint had been damaged, so I kept trying over and over, until the system triggered the alarm. That's when Matthew finally showed up, pulling into the driveway. He stepped out of his car and looked at me sitting on the doorstep, disheveled and exhausted. For a brief moment, I thought I saw concern in his eyes, but it quickly turned to disgust. He unlocked the door and let out a mocking laugh. So you finally decided to come back, huh, Mia? Do you even remember this is your home? His words hit me like a slap across the face, and I felt the scar on my chest ache as if it were tearing open again. The month of loneliness and pain I had endured came rushing back, crashing over me like a tidal wave. I rose to my feet, tears welling in my eyes. It's been over a month, Matthew. Over a month, and you didn't care enough to find out why I wasn't home. You didn't even think something might have happened to me. I called you, begged you to answer, and you ignored me. Not a single call, not a single message. Did you even wonder if I was okay? Or were you just hoping I'd disappear for good so you and Dila could play house in peace? My voice cracked, trembling with anger and heartbreak. Why don't you just announce my death on Twitter while you're at it? That way you can make it official and move on with her.